started. Okay, everyone, I am just blessed to be with such a There we go. I'm going to start again just in case. I am so blessed to be with such an incredible team that loves community well, that loves each other well. And we are going to share a lot about that and our experiences at Gold School, as well as takeaways that we have had with that experience that corporate gave us. Because, and if you don't know what Gold School is where either you hit gold or senior gold for the very first time, or you help develop a gold. And so this is something that Plexus just started offering, and it is a credible opportunity for all of us that we should really push and earn each time they have a Gold School. And I know for me, that is my commitment to make sure that I earn each Gold School from here on out. And it's because of what I saw when I got there. And so I am going to share with several of I'm going to have a lot of the girls that went with us. We all went on a trip to Nashville. Nashville was where we were at. We drove down, had a blast. And then the one thing that I loved about in Hawaii is Tarl said, you want people that you can be in a car with for more than 3 hours. And I will tell you, I absolutely loved being in the car with these ladies for 7 hours. So if that tells you anything, I am so blessed by them. And we had such a great time, community and laughter as we went and came back. And so I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to have several of them just share their experience and then a takeaway, and then I will close it at the end and share mine. So Stacy, if you are ready, she's got some light now. She was possibly having some technical difficulty. So we figured she'd go first so that her phone would work properly. So Stacy, if you're good to go, we would love to hear what you thought.
All right. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Yes, so I was pretty excited. This was my first Gold School, so I wasn't sure what to expect. Of course, I knew that there was training and all that, but yes, like Cassie said, the community, that driving for 7 hours in the car with all these ladies, that's my favorite. Honestly, my experience was the positive. Okay, let's back up. I just went on a girls' weekend just recently before this. I came back just kind of and tired, and was totally different. This being a business trip, you think, oh, business, kind of boring. No, I was so refreshed this weekend. I was telling, my mom asked me, so how'd your weekend go? I'm like, I am so refreshed. Like, it was so good. It was so uplifting because all the people are just so uplifting. I felt like spiritually I was more awakened because everybody's just talking about the Lord and what he's doing in their lives. And even at my table where I was sitting with a bunch of strangers, we had great conversations. I just felt so refreshed. And it's supposed to be a business trip, but yeah, it was just all around, personally, spiritually, everything, and business refreshing. So that was my favorite part. But I also one of the little tidbits I took away from training was it really hit me a little convicting. The whole, the reactive leaders. The speaker compared reactive leaders to proactive leaders. When like a reactive leader would be, they kind of react, life happens to them, they react, they're kind of victim mode. They don't know where the time went. How did this happen? How did they're not prepared? Whereas proactive leader, as a leader, because we're all leaders on our team, leaders even just on social media, people see us, we're showing up every day, we're leaders. And so a proactive leader would be one who time blocks, one who plans ahead, who knows what's going on, who's not victim, but who's pressing forward and knows exactly what's going on, and they're prepared. And they also say no to things, because a reactive one will say yes to a lot of different things and they get overwhelmed, but a proactive will say no a lot of the time because they really protect those times, whether it be personal, business, church commitments, family, whatever is your priority, they really protect those times. So that was kind of my favorite, my little tidbit that really kind of stuck with me. So yep, that's what I have to share.
I love that. And I agree. A lot of the slides that came up were really true and connecting to a lot of us, where it really stuck on certain aspects of our business and our life. Because really, if those don't align, then it doesn't work properly. So I am proud of you for going, and congrats again, girl. Like, for real, that's a huge accomplishment. And I'm so glad that you got to go. Okay, so next
Thank
we're
you.
going to hear, you are welcome, girl. Next, we're going to hear from Amanda.
Hello, hello. Okay. There were so many things, and I'm like, I only have 5 minutes. Okay, so I was looking through my notebook and I was praying. I was like, okay, what should I actually share this evening that might be of benefit to someone else? So I want to talk about consistency. That has been a big deal. And you think about sometimes, like, does it really matter if I miss today? Does it really matter? Yes, it does. And I am a perfect example of that. I hit senior gold in some month. One of those months in the past, I don't even remember what month it was. I'm sorry, too much going on. And then the next month I went down in points, and then I tanked, and I was like, what is going on? Oh, so we had a lot of life changes this past year, and I used a lot of that, not necessarily as excuses, because things happen. And we were in a season, we will say that, but we are coming out of a season. And so now I'm at a point where that consistency can come back. And I am actually going to time block. What? I have been so resistant to that. And I know they didn't really talk about that at Gold School, just a smidge. But I think that's going to help me. So if you feel like I have, like, everything is just like, and you don't know, which end is up and where am I even going to fit in time? Because Carissa has the 20 messages a day, and I did that for a little while, but in the season I was at, that was not sustainable for me. I could send out the messages. It was the responses. I was like, oh, all those people responded. Where am I going to find the time to actually respond to their responses? So you need to make it work for you and your schedule. So this is why I am going to attempt time blocking next week. And another thing that I wanted to share about is it really struck me. Jim Vieves was talking about during the what's the winning day? The winning day. And I think, Cassie, you're going to talk about that later. Okay. She was talking, and it's just a format on how to structure your work time. So she is going to talk about that a little bit later, but she was talking during the winning day about, and I've heard different percentages, how much should I post about Plexus, how much should I post about my personal time, blah, blah, blah. And it really shocked me. She said only 20% Plexus, 80% personal. I was like, what? What she meant was, we have the testimonies, and we have the science, and we have all these things. Most people don't care about the science. They do like the testimonies. The testimonies really work. But you can make your posts about Plexus without saying Plexus, right? So tonight I did a post about saying peace out to saying yes to everything. Which my husband read it. He's like, you don't have any problem saying no. I was like, well, yes and no, but that's something that I'm working on, that I have been working on for a while. So just saying no. Oh, okay. So that wasn't necessarily a Plexus post, but it was, because, it's something that I learned, and, sharing our life experiences. And I told Cassie at the retreat, I was like, I'm going to have to get more interesting because I have no idea what else to post. I posted about my kids, and I don't know. I guess I need more hobbies. I don't know. So I'm working through that. But let me tell you again, reiterate what Stacy said. This was such a refreshing time. And Cassie also just spending time in the car with all the ladies. And like Michelle, I've known her online. I met her in person. I did meet her for like 5 seconds at convention, but like we hugged and it was like we already knew each other. And I just love, love, love this community. And there's nothing like it out there. Everything else is pretty cutthroat and backbiting and all of that. You get none of that here. None of that here. So there's my say. I hope some of it made sense. I get excited.
You did great.
Okay, thanks.
I think you did great. So Michelle, go ahead, sweetie.
Yes, I will say, Amanda, that leads into absolutely one of the points that I had noted. Just the idea to surround yourself with people that lift you up, that hope and dream and believe in happiness too. And it was kind of a unique situation where I didn't know everybody in our, bigger group in person, but that didn't matter. The first time you meet them, it's like, them. And yeah, this community is incredible. I would love to share with you tonight about being a transformational and thinking about this as a transformational business instead of a transactional business. A perfect example is if you are sitting there thinking like you just want sale after sale after sale, like you are not McDonald's. First of all, McDonald's does not make us healthy. Second of all, like that is not building a relationship with people. And that is probably the biggest draw to Plexus that I have had is our belief in truly being here for our people and focusing on who you can bless. And that is the part that drives me more than any financial gain, any awesome watch, which is amazing. But just this a bit like this opportunity to bless others. And so when you phrase it to people and offer it to friends as a transformational journey, you are not only creating that belief in them, but helping them understand that this is not short term. Like this is not a quick fix. There's no such thing as a quick fix. Like this is to truly bless our bodies in a way for a long time. So I just loved that wording, a transformational business versus transactional business. And with that, yes, focusing on relationship. And one of the things that really stood out to me is that so many of us are experiencing these incredible highs in our journey of life. Like we are feeling well, like we are seeing success. Maybe the burden of money is not so great in the moment. And that is amazing. And that absolutely should be celebrated. But when you're only sharing your celebrations, your friends who still feel like junk and who are sitting on the couch, they will cheer you on and they will be happy for you, but they will not be able to see that for themselves. And so if you can share, hey, it's not that long ago that I was laying on the floor watching my kids play when I didn't have the strength or energy to get up. Like Cassie does a beautiful job of that. Carissa's post today in her stories, I was like tears. Was that yesterday or today? Today, I think. I was like tears because it was so relatable and exactly that, like meet people where they are at. Everybody's got problems of all sorts, but we are here to be able to offer a solution. So recognize the problems, like call them out, not in a mean way, recognize the problems like that, like this exists, like it's terrible feeling this way, like empathize with them and offer that solution. It makes all the difference. You are building that relationship with them. But truly, like one of the things I wrote down was like, just be real. And again, be real in what you had struggled with and now what you're experiencing. Yeah, that verbiage, I remember when, is really good. So yeah, but yes, Gold School, oh my gosh, earn it, go. It's amazing, all the things. I'm sure we could all talk forever, but that's what I wanted to share.
Okay, Hannah, you are up, my friend.
Hey everyone. So I just want to start with like what Alex said he said smile. Don't forget to smile. Take a minute to look up, look around, and don't forget to look all the way up. And I love that was literally the opening of Gold School. So I mean, our leaders telling you to look all the way up, and I just absolutely love our company. So one of the things that made me stop and think just a little bit more is like, because you always hear about who are your what's your why, but I can't even remember which speaker worded it this way, but it says, who are my people and why do they follow me? So think about that. That your social media is your business card. I thought that was a pretty good takeaway as well. And that people know one thing, they know that they don't feel good. That's one thing, that they don't feel good. So we need to delight in encouraging people to take the next step. We get in our own heads about, we don't want to sound salesy and all this stuff. Get rid of that junk. Delight in encouraging people to take that next step. And then, just basically, don't try to make them do something. Be a professional encourager. And you don't need to be perfect. Just be consistent. Amanda touched on that. Consistency is where it's at. We all know that. One thing, sitting there and listening through everything, it was like, we are so blessed on this team because we've had a lot of this knowledge passed down to us already. But it's kind of like Cassie uses this example a lot, like watching church from home or being there and experiencing it. And so I just want to share real fast a very, like, I cried, like, humiliated. I mean, it was so embarrassing moment. Okay. Had my plate full, had a bowl of tomato soup, red tomato soup, and it spilled. So I'm talking hot tomato soup all over my underwear area, down my leg. I was at the front of the line. It was terrible, like red soup right there. I had people jumping in action, the hotel staff, corporate. Julia ran out, she brought shorts. Cassie said, why don't you bring your shorts? And then Kara had a shirt in her car. I don't know, people took care of me, but I was just so impressed. We talk about the community, but that was so good that they just jumped in and took care of me, truly took care of me in a very like embarrassing situation. So I always say, like, if my kids aren't with me to make a mess, I will. So I need to quit saying that, because that was like the worst mess. But anyway, just again, like, don't forget that I truly feel like if you're on this call, no one will, like I shared with Stacy, like, no one will ever be able to convince me that God did not put this in your life. There are so many things out there that we haven't heard of yet, right? But because of, for me, that one post of Cassie's, it caught my attention. Because of whatever, fill in the blank, you're here. So when you're working your business and then you go in the valley or whatever, do not let the enemy win and feed lies to your mind. And I think a lot of us try to do everything perfect. And if you can't do perfect, you kind of stall. It's like, I don't know what it is. So just to reiterate, you don't need to be perfect, just be consistent and get to Gold School.
Y'all, it was so funny when I was in the bathroom and they were like, I think one of your teammates just spilled everything all over her. And I was like, who? And it was Sally Lewis that came to me, and it was so funny. And I had to go figure it out. And then Julia came to me. But that's what I loved about it. Like Hannah said, we all powered together to help her. And like she said, it was even staff as well as Plexus staff. So she had her food and he was like, oh, no, let me carry your food for you. And he went and he carried the food to her table. Who does that? Right. So it's just little things like that just is the little blessing on top of why this company literally surpasses so many others that I can't even no words unless you were there. Like Hannah said, unless you were there and being present, you just won't know. Okay. Next, Kara, are you ready, my friend?
I am
All right.
ready. Thank you all for joining us. So my name is Kara Elliott. I'm a senior gold. I'm a senior gold, y'all. So fun. So I ranked up in August. So very recently, and I did not expect to get to go to gold school so early. It was not the plan. The timing seemed that it was not right. Carissa, my sponsor, we were, had decided together it was not the time to go. And God had other plans, and he used my sweet friend Cassie to orchestrate a plan, and then Carissa to help orchestrate a plan. So at the very last minute, literally the day of needing to travel to go to gold school, I had the opportunity to. So this was, while earning it was not a surprise, getting to go and enjoy it with these ladies and glean and garner so much from this training and this experience, and being with them also, like Stacy said, was so exciting, such a blessing. And what was so fun is that I had to return home a little sooner to leave for another trip. And one of the best parts, y'all, of any Plexus event when we get to be together is they all stayed behind a little bit late, delayed their next plan so that we could unpack all the things that we learned together, y'all. That's the beauty of being a part of this team. Okay, so the overall experience, when we were chatting about what to share tonight, the overall experience and what we came away with, my immediate thought was y'all, they just went above and beyond to make us golds and senior golds and their guests, their sponsors, feel like the biggest deal ever. Hardcore 7 right here. I love fun. I love a party. I love to be treated. I love to be made to feel special. I think we all do, but I enjoyed that so, so much. And so that just spoke right to my little 7 heart. It was hosted at the Gaylord Opryland in this beautiful setting. They had all the backdrops up. All the tables are decorated. We got little gold goodie bags with all of this fun stuff in it. I think every single speaker, look, Cassie's holding hers up. Be bold with gold. Pretty gold shiny cups, all the fun stuff. But I think every single speaker that got on stage made us understand or made us actually celebrate ourselves in some shape, form, or fashion. They made it a point in their words and in their actions how valuable we are to Plexus and how valuable we are to the teams that we are currently leading. And I thought that was just so powerful because, we have a tendency to kind of look ahead and, maybe we hit silver, senior silver, gold, senior gold, and we just keep looking ahead to okay, how am I going to get to ruby? How am I going to get to emerald? And you see emerald extravaganza and diamond destination and people winning all, or not winning, earning all these things, at big events. And it made me really stop and recognize I am leading a team. Plexus recognizes that I'm a very pivotal, important point of my journey in running this business, and they are honoring what I'm doing. And so just a lot of gratefulness for that. And it just, I hope that maybe a little bit of that gets you excited for what they are offering you in earning gold school and giving you the opportunity to go. I will also just say the wealth of knowledge that we were given from all of the trainers, and then in our amazing gold school workbook. I've just kind of poured over it the last little bit, trying to pick apart what I want to share because there's so much value there. But really, I would say my takeaway, similar to what Amanda mentioned earlier, is that when Genevieve mentioned that really, truly 20% of our posts overall should be Plexus related and everything else should be personal. And the number shocked me. If Amanda was sitting beside me and we just looked at each other like, what? And then she began to describe something that I had been hearing from actually one of our, or not hearing, but I've been hearing it from other network marketing, social selling people, but I've been seeing it from people like Jordan Roddenberry, and I've been seeing it from Emily Roberts and several others, that they are using their platform, their life, their passions, their hobbies, their families, the running of their business on a daily basis, and exposing people to their life, and then slipping Plexus in and just like really gracefully weaving it throughout the story that they are telling. Kind of like Michelle mentioned, we're selling a journey, a transformation, not just a product. Products are important. I feel it's important to show them, but we really are selling a journey. And then also one thing that Genevieve shared that was like hit right on. She said, you know, it's not really about you. You are not QVC. This is not like we open up a door for business and we are simply just pushing. Oh, look at this stone, and it's made of this, and this is where it comes from. And I mean, you know, you imagine the QVC presenter. That's not what we're here to do. We're here. I mean, Carissa, like again, with the perfect story suggestion today, which I've got to go finish mine, but selling your story. Genevieve said you can never tell your story too many times. When it happened to you and it felt transformational to you because it physically was healing you or making you feel better, relieving symptoms, it never stops being transformational. Just keep telling your story. And as you tell that story about what that looks like for you as a person in this profession, or as a mother, or as a whatever, you know, whatever your profession or your title is, you can show them what a life in Plexus looks like as you tell that transformational story. So anyway, I just thought those were some really good takeaways that meant quite a lot to me. And I hope it does to you too. Get yourself to Gold School.
Amen. Amen. Okay. Next is going to be Julia. There you are. Okay. Go for it, my friend.
I'm here. Apparently, Kara didn't want to hear me eating my watermelon earlier. She's like, can you please mute yourself? Sorry, everyone. I was hungry. Okay. Yeah, Gold School was very transformative. I feel like I had so many nuggets. I had to come home and really just go back over my stuff because I was like, I want to absorb it so severely. Just like, how do I put all this into play? But I think that's one of the biggest things I took away, is that you have to do it one day at a time and one small step at a time. Genevieve really hit on micro movements, basically, and taking those small steps over time build big consistency. And that right there, I was just like, to me, that just took a huge load off, because I tend to find myself getting really overwhelmed sometimes with all the different things. And it was just like, no, what do we have to do today? What is important right now? And that to me just was freeing to me. So that was really, really good. So one of the biggest things that I think I took away was Genevieve got up and it kind of went. So at the beginning, Alec came up and spoke, and he was talking about, oh gosh, I'm trying to think, Spartacus. He was talking about Spartacus and how with your teams, you want to be the type of person that gets in the trenches with your teams, that your people want to be around and that your people look up to and that they want to follow. They want to be the person, you know, they want to be like you, or not necessarily like you, but they like you're respectable and you're willing to do the work and to show people to do the work. And so at the end, Genevieve brought up another little picture for me, and that, man, that just, I was like, oh my gosh, because so basically look at your business and determine whether you are a hunter. Poor Cassie.
The internet.
I know it.
Okay, I think I'm back. So sorry, guys.
There she is. Do you want to put record again?
Yeah,
Okay. So if you're a fisherman, you're casting your line. Good. So when you're a fisherman, you're casting your line, you're pulling people in, right? So what does your business look like in the sense of what you're straining for on your page? Even like Cassie and I talked a lot about having you kind of go back through your page and look and see, does it look like QVC? Like, does it look like you're trying to sell? Because if it does, then yeah, when you reach out to your people, they're automatically going to feel like a sale. And we're in the business of transformation. And the other thing that she said that just really stuck with me was to get a couple hundred people and nourish those relationships. So not striving for thousands upon thousands of followers, literally just, you know, being content with reaching out to a few and just building up those relationships, because you're in a transformational, you know, business, not like Michelle was talking about, not transactional. The last thing I will leave you with, and it said, if I can find it, I had all my things here circled. There are companies out there that have similar products. We all agree they're not the same, but similar products. There are companies out there that have the same business way that we do things. So the difference with our company is us and how we do our business and how we make people feel. So keep that in mind. If you are constantly reaching out to somebody because you're wanting to get them, you know, maybe take that shift and make it realize that you want to mainly do it to get to know them. You want to help them, but you got to build that relationship first. And if you've reached out to them multiple times about the business, don't do that again. Just ask them how they're doing. Comment on their stuff, make conversation with them, pull out conversation in their posts so that you can start building back up that relationship with them. So I think that's most of what, I mean, I have a lot, but that's my few minutes of tidbit wealth.
Well, hopefully my internet will still be good while I finish this out. But I think the thing is it's one of those, can everybody hear me? Maybe put in the chat if you can hear me, because on my side, everybody is frozen. So I can't see nods. Okay, good. One day my internet will be better, you guys, but this is what country life is. It's beautiful, but also the internet is not that great. And I'm glad that you can hear me clearly. I think the thing with Gold School is that you never anticipate what it's going to be until you get there. The same with the church experience, like, you know, Hannah had mentioned earlier. None of us knew what to expect. They just started this. And so we got to see a couple from the last few times. But when I got there, I absolutely loved so many of the aspects, but the fact that you as a sponsor get to go is huge. I mean, they could just allow people that hit gold go, and that's it. The other thing is that all of the food, oh my gosh, you guys, the food. Every time we were like, another snack. And they were truly pouring into us and our bellies the whole time. And it was pretty funny, but we enjoyed whatever they had for us. And I think just the connections. So for instance, we got there and it was packed, so packed. Apparently one of the biggest Gold Schools they've had. And all of us did not sit at the same table. And I honestly think that that was a beauty in itself, because then every single one of us got to know somebody different. And I don't know about you, but that was a great experience for me, because it really forces us to get to know other people and what we do. And so hearing the chatter from all the other tables and, you know, their takeaways, where their business is, and us helping each other, when they're not even on our team, that is the beauty of this industry, that you literally could talk to anybody and they would help you. There's so many takeaways I can't even explain. I mean, the fact that they give you a book and they give you all of the guidance and verbiage, they tell you about the winning day, which I will shout out to the rooftops all the time. The winning day is just a great format that you can use when you don't know what to do. Like you sit down and you're like, well, I only have 15 minutes. The beauty that she talked about is like, when you have this winning day sheet, you can't, it's like a cake. There's a recipe to it. You can't put the cake in the oven and you haven't even put the batter in yet. You have to start with the step 1 first, because it builds the algorithm, it builds everything. So it builds upon each other. And so no, whenever you see this winning day sheet, she definitely clarified, and that's the one thing that I loved, is that you have to start with step 1 first. You can't go to step 6. You have to start at step 1. Another thing that I loved about Jordan, Jordan talked about different steps in your business. She's like, step 1, you are going to work harder. You're going to have to sacrifice and say no to a lot more things for the end gain. And I will tell you, in the business, in my business that I have done now for almost 7 years, you guys, which is insane, is that you'll have to make sacrifices, and those sacrifices aren't like horrible. I'm not saying that. It's just, you're not able to do a lot more things if you're wanting a bigger result quicker. And so little things like, no, I can't go volunteer for that, or no, I can't do this right now, or whatever, so that you don't get into the overwhelm. And it doesn't bring you down, because here's the thing. A lot of us are doing this for our families. We all have a different why. And the one thing that I love Jordan had us do too, is we had to close our eyes and truly envision, if we had, and I believe it was Jordan, if time and money was not an object, what would that look like? And we all closed our eyes, and it was breathtaking to see tears around the room, and just how powerful what our stories could be if we allowed this to control our life. And when I mean that, literally control it, because God gave us this for a reason and a path for a reason. And in control, I know that sounds like a harsh word, but think of it. Think of the fact that controlling in being like, for me, I'll go back. For me, it's allowed me to become a stronger leader. It's controlled. I've allowed God to control my words, my things, my aspects, to continue to keep growing me in ways that I would have never done prior. And that's what we learned here, is ways to maneuver our business in a way that's going to work. Genevieve, I could listen to her all day long. She had us in tears laughing. Her jokes were top none. That's all I can say. And that is why I enjoy her coaching, because I've been getting it a lot lately. And we have like a diamond sprint thing. And so we have been getting her coaching, and she does not sugarcoat anything. And I think that that's something in this business. If you truly want to go if you want to hit this business the way that you want it, you do not want somebody that's going to sugarcoat things for you and tell you what you shouldn't hear. Like, oh, it's fine. I know that you missed this. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Genevieve's like, was there a death in the family? Was there XYZ? Like she's like, no, like, if you want this, it's your business. You have to work in your business and stop making excuses for yourself. And I loved that. And I love everything that this opportunity had to have for us. And I will tell you, we saw people that just started up to diamonds that were there, that, they were celebrating their teams, and it was powerful. But let me show you. If you are one, I know for the industries that I have been in, I worked in corporate world or whatever. I was telling my friend Teresa today, I think it was, anyway, like I worked my butt off for my last job, was never recognized. I had to ask after 3.5 years for a raise. And then he asked me, why do I need a raise, when I would go to every Starbucks for him during Christmas so that I could get all the gifts for all of his people that we could ship out to his clients. I would go get all the food that he needed for the office and whatnot. Anyway, I did a lot. And for him to be like, why do you need a raise? I did not get recognized for my efforts. And I will tell you, Plexus recognizes you above and beyond for your efforts and everything you do for your business. I didn't expect to have one. My girls came back. They gave me a certificate. Every single one of us got a certificate for completing, like a certificate of achievement presented to, and then they used Cassandra Howard, in recognition of your outstanding performance and pursuit of personal and professional development at Gold School. I did not anticipate getting one. I really truly thought, okay, every person that hit gold is going to get this. And so when they brought that back to me, I was just like, what? And just those little things is really icing to the cake. And I cannot tell you enough that do not let this pass you by. Do not let Satan say that you can't hit gold when you only have until January. That is the lies from the enemy, my friend. Here's the simplest way that Genevieve said is you can get a gold with 5 silvers. 5 silvers. Help somebody go gold. Get gold yourself so that you both can go and enjoy this amazing opportunity. And then after that, get to Rubies on the Rise. That's another opportunity that I better see all of us at that is able to go on Rubies on the Rise. And we'll explain that another time. But the highlight of this is just the fact that every single person that really puts in the work and the consistency for your dreams and your why is why you will be recognized for your efforts and you get to go to Gold School. And I just cannot shout out enough that every single person should get to this. Is there anything else that we didn't touch on that you're like, oh my gosh, but there was one more thing? I felt like we all hit a lot of the great spots.
Cassie, there was something that Michelle put in the comments a few minutes ago that I wanted us to say out loud, because I just thought this summed up so much of what Genevieve was really trying to deliver. And it's that I don't, as an ambassador representing Plexus, I don't want something from you. I want something for you.
Yeah.
And that it so beautifully sums up, I think, how we feel in our businesses. And if we can reflect that in our posting and what we share and how we present the product and the opportunity, it will shift things for us in really big ways.
Agree. Well, I am so grateful that all of you guys popped on for a short time to hear why you should make your goal and your roadmap to get to gold. If you haven't already, literally map it out, figure out how many orders you need, who you're going to help along the way. And then this right here is in your virtual office. Go to the help center, type in roadmap. And what I want, this is a challenge for everybody on here. If you are in Plexus, tile this in, and you need to start putting where you're going to be in every single month. Like, okay, well, if you want to be in Mayakoba with us next year, put that on here and put July. Not like, oh, it's going to be 2024. No, you really could do it. Just you have to map it out and think in the future. But then map out your team. Like, oh, well, I just added Susie and I'm going to help Susie go silver by October. And then I'm going to help, really put everybody's names on this. And it'll be a visual for you to help you as you continue to grow in this incredible opportunity. Okay. I'm excited that you guys are here. Thank you so much for allowing us to share our opportunity and being able to go. Carissa, do you have anything else to say? If not, we will close it out.
Ashley asked, do I know the exact date? Ashley, are you asking about the next Gold School or Rubies on the Rise?
The Ruby one.
Ooh, okay. It's in April. All I have done is I use Google and I just type Plexus Help Center Rubies on the Rise. Anything you know. If you type in Plexus Help Center blank, you'll pull up whatever the latest is they have. The latest they have is that it's in April, exact dates and location. Well, location is Scottsdale. Exact dates are to be determined. So I have some ideas cooking around that. And as far as maybe a way for a lot of us to get to go together and maybe prolong it a little bit. So that's where I'm getting my information from. And congratulations. I did not
Thank you.
you'd
Yes.
earned it.
Yeah, I was super pumped, but I went to register and they're like, it's full. We'll put you on the wait list.
Okay.
So
I had
I'm on the
no
wait
idea
list.
that it was already
But-
full.
Yes. But I think once you earn it, you have 1.5 years to attend,
Okay.
they said. So I just want to make sure I get it on my calendar because my calendar gets full quick. So
That's good for me to know too, because I was literally trying to plan like a team gathering around it. I have no idea. Okay, cool.
All right. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Congrats, Ashley. So proud of you.
thanks.
You're welcome. All right. I love you guys. And I cannot wait to see you all at the next Gold School with us. All of us are already committing to going. All right. Love you guys. Bye.